Obviously the show is not at the same level, not even close in my opinion. I would say the original show is like a 9.5 and this show is around a 6, which is obviously not awful. And what I really wanted from this show realistically was just a good enough show that gave me nostalgic feelings, and I do think it did a great job in that. Obviously this show is not a masterpiece. I don't think many people really think that, maybe a small amount of people, but most people are gonna be in the mid tier for this show and say it's an average show at best, which I do think is pretty fair in my opinion. And the Rotten Tomatoes score is honestly a good example of an overall opinion on the show. I think it's 60% and the other score is pretty close to what most people think. So now I'm gonna actually talk about the show. I'm not gonna use any spoilers. First of all, something that I really noticed from the get-go was that the costumes, in my opinion, really looked fake. They look too shiny, they look too new, it looks like cosplay. That is something that definitely bothered me. Obviously that is not gonna really ruin the entire Last Airbender experience, but in my opinion I really didn't understand why they would have costumes like they had in the show, because they had a big ass budget for this entire show. I think around 20 million every single episode, so you expect the costumes to be the best they possibly could be. And in my opinion, watching the show, I don't think that the costumes they have in the show is the best they could have done. I think it looks too fake, too shiny, too new, and it was definitely something I noticed from the beginning. Now I'm gonna talk about something else that was pretty noticeable, and that was the entire speed of this show. This show feels like a fast run. It feels really fast. Every single episode is full of a story, because the original show in the first season had 20 episodes and this one has 8 episodes, so they need to really speed up every single episode. It's really a speed run in my opinion, and it did bother me. And I honestly would have hoped that the show, first season at least, had more episodes so they could actually slow down a little, breathe a little, because this entire show feels like a speed run. Another thing that was pretty weird in my opinion is some of the acting feels like AI. Some of it was honestly pretty great. There are some moments in this show that are pretty powerful. I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want to ruin the entire moment, but there are definitely acting moments in this show that are definitely worth watching, but some of the acting is just really not that good. I'm gonna talk about a couple of characters I liked and some characters I didn't like. So from the start, the character that I liked the most and worked the most for me, and I thought was the most similar to the character in the cartoon, was Zuko. I thought the actor did a really great job of portraying the first season Zuko, because the first season Zuko was a frustrated teenager that was always angry, that was always screaming, and I thought the actor did a really good job portraying it, so I give him a good shout out for that. I thought he was great. Another character I did really enjoy was Iroh. I did really need to learn to accept that this Iroh obviously has a different voice and is a little bit different. The entire show is not a exact remake. They do change up the story a little, so you need to understand that the characters are not gonna be 100% the same as the original material. But I did like Zuko, I did like Iroh. A character I was not so impressed with was Azula. It just didn't work for me. I didn't think the actress really looked like Azula, and I didn't feel like she has the same vibe Azula had in the Last Airbender show. Azula was really smart, evil, and just narcissistic. I don't know how you want to call it, and I didn't feel like the actress did a really good job of portraying that. Another character I did enjoy was Sokka. I did think the actor did really look like him, and I did enjoy the jokes he was making. It reminded me of the cartoon version of him, and all other characters were just okay. I didn't really enjoy Katara. I don't think it was a good performance, and it honestly didn't remind me of the cartoon version. So most characters and acting were alright or mid. Some performances were kinda AI and bad. So I just want to say this entire show is kind of 50-50. Some things really work, other things don't really work.